Okay, so I think we can get started. Sorry, I had a call from somebody. They wanted to join in too. So I'm going to get started now. Okay, yeah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس.
Good. Is there anyone else who would like to recite, any kid who wants to also recite any surah? Ashir, you want to do it? Or anyone else? Sure, go ahead. Or just turn on your mic and then. I don't think we can hear you.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو
Are you
الله
speaking
أحد.
because we can't hear you? No? Okay. Somehow I cannot hear him. What's the problem? Let me see. Is there anything on my side that I can't hear you? Let me see. Okay. So then let me check my settings because I can't hear him. Just give me one moment. Okay, can you speak again, Ashir? I just want to see.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry, it was a setting in the Zoom. You can go now.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
Awesome, mashallah. Same. Okay, let's get started. Oh, sure, go ahead. Please go ahead. And who is this? Would you tell your name?
Iman.
Iman, mashallah. Go ahead.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Al-Qariya. Mal-Qariya. وما أدراك ما القارية يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث وتكون الجبال كالعهن منفوش فأما من ثقلت موازينه فهو في عيشة راضية وأما من خفت موازينه فأمه هاوية وما أدراك ما هي نار الحامية.
Subhanallah, subhanallah. Both of you have recited very well. Anyone else who want to jump in as well? More than welcome to go and recite.
Yes.
Sure, go ahead. It's just pronounce your name first.
Ahmad.
Ahmad, go ahead, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا.
Subhanallah, subhanallah. Anyone else? Ajabi, you can also say it.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد.
Subhanallah. See, I get to hear so many lovely voices of the little ones. So mashallah, mashallah. Sure, Lisa and Qasim, you can go one by one.
I'm gonna read Surah Teen. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والتين والزيتون وطور سينين وهذا البلد الأمين لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فلهم أجر غير ممنون فما يكذبك بعد بالدين أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين.
Subhanallah. There was someone else, Kazim, and then Ibrahim also wants to recite. So go ahead, Kazim.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما خلا وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى وأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنحر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث.
Subhanallah. We should all get inspired by these little kids. And I think we need to learn more surahs as well now. Ibrahim, you want to recite? That was Ibrahim? I don't know.
Yeah, that
was Ibrahim? That, Subhanallah. Okay, so we can get started. I appreciate everyone who has joined in, and the purpose of our today's meeting really is to encourage all the kids to understand a little bit more about Ramadan and also give them some more knowledge about our first prophet. So what is Ramadan? It's basically the 9th month of the Muslim calendar. And if we don't know all the 12 months of Muslim calendar, we can definitely go over that too. But this is the 9th month where it's where Muslims all over the world, they fast. And what is fasting? They would not eat from the sunrise to sunset. Now, as you can see my slide, hopefully, the Arabic word for fasting, just for our knowledge, is swam. And swam means to abstain, to stay away from food. And this is just to basically, clean our souls, pure our souls, because when we try to abstain from food, we are trying to see how Allah has created all those things for everyone in this world. And when we are abstaining ourselves from these, we are actually, growing our strength, and we are cleaning our soul and becoming more spiritual in nature. Now, why is Ramadan so important? Ramadan is important because it is the month when Quran was revealed, when Quran was sent to all the Muslims through Prophet Muhammad. It was the month when it started to come to us. So as you can see over here in the first picture, these are the 5 pillars of Islam. And out of these 5 pillars, one of the most important pillar of Islam is Swam, which is fasting. Okay. So if anyone has any questions, just feel free to put those questions in the chat too, or you can speak as we are going through this. Now, just sharing over here on the second slide is basically most of us, or maybe some of us, are known about all the 12 months of Ramadan. I'm just quickly showing them over here just for our knowledge. The first month of Islamic calendar is Muharram, and then it goes from Safar, Rabiul Awwal, and you can see Rabiul Sani, Jamadul Awwal, Jamadul Akhira. There are different names, like, the Jamadul Akhira, sometimes people call them as Jamadul Sani. Then Rajab, Shaban, and then comes the month of Ramadan, which is on the 9th. So we are currently in the 9th month, and then it would be followed by 3 more months, which is Shawwal, and you can say Zilqad and Zihaj. Hajj is basically when the Hajj ritual is performed, and that's in the 12th month of the Islamic calendar. Okay. Now, as you can see, one of the hadiths on the right-hand side, hadiths are basically said by a Prophet Muhammad. And as I'm just reading through it, it says, whatever is prayed for at the time of breaking the fast is granted and never refused. So when you sit down and open your fast, that is at the time of sunset, make a dua, because whatever you're going to pray at that time, Allah is really listening to you. So whatever you pray with wholeheartedly, Allah would definitely listen to you and give you that. So the time when you're opening the fast, it's very important that you sit down and spend some time and just recalling and just praying to Allah. And, this is the time when you are basically getting close to Allah. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll just stop over it. I'm going through these because I just want to give you a quick highlight of Ramadan, because as we are in the month of Ramadan, we should be talking about it. Now, there's another ahadith by Abu Huraira, and he said that when Ramadan comes, the gates of the garden are opened, the gates of hell are closed, and the devils are chained. So what does it really mean is that when in this month of Ramadan, just make the best of it, because you'll be rewarded more than what is rewarded in the other months. So be nice to everyone and do good things in month of Ramadan, because this is the month of Islamic calendar where you would be rewarded the most. Now, as we discussed, Ramadan is a time of year when you get closer to God. So pray to God. And I think most of us already know about it. When you wake up in the morning, like before the sunrise, what do? You eat, and that is called your suhoor. That meal is called suhoor. And when you are opening your fast, that meal is called iftar. Now, the last 10 days of Ramadan are very important to us as well, because those are referred to as Laylatul Qadr. It's usually said it's the last 10 days because we don't know which exact day it is when it's the most beneficial. So you're supposed to, worship and basically pray to Allah at that time and ask for forgiveness. And because those are the 10 days, those are very sacred days. And the holy book was actually revealed in the month of Ramadan as well. That's why it says in that period as well, that's why it says Laylatul Qadr. So make use of those 10 days, spend as much time as you could. It's one of those very sacred days when you can get more closer to Allah. Now, here are some references about Ramadan that are given in Quran as well. One of the references that I took over here was from Surah Baqarah. In many places in Quran, Ramadan has been referenced. But as you can see over here from this ayah, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyamu kama kutiba alal lazina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. What does it really mean? It's described below that why, like how fasting has been given to us. It says that, oh, you have believed, decreed upon you is fasting, as it was decreed upon those before you that you may become righteous. So Allah is saying that I have basically given you this task of fasting. It was given to people before as well. So I'm just passing it on to you. So you should also pass. You should also fast during the month of Ramadan. On the right-hand side, there's another quote from Al-Baqarah Surah. It says, oh, you believe fasting has been prescribed upon you as it has been prescribed upon you, the same which I have quoted over here on the left. But I'm writing over here to say because it has been described, in other words, so that you may attain taqwa. Now, what is really taqwa? Taqwa is basically, you should be aware of Allah, that he can see us, he can see all our actions. So even if you're trying to do a sin, by hiding, don't think Allah cannot see. If you have something bad in your heart, Allah can still see that. So, our actions are never hidden from him. So that is what taqwa is. So that struggle to clean your heart and protect your inner self. Don't think that your acts would be hidden from Allah. You should be aware of it, that whatever you're doing, it's very much visible to Allah. Allah can see all your actions. Okay. I'm not been monitoring the chat, so I'm just going to see if anyone has any questions or anything. Okay, so I'll move forward. Now, this was basically just a quick intro about Ramadan. I didn't want it to go too much of in depth, but I just gave you a quick highlight about it. So let's move on to our next quick session about Prophet Adam alayhi salam. Now, who is Prophet Adam alayhi salam? Can anyone share that? Anyone who knows already about that, they would like to speak about it? And then we can discuss what is there written on the slide. I'm letting you talk. You can open up your mics and talk about it. Sure, go ahead.
Prophet Adam alayhi salam was the first prophet.
Mhm. That's correct. As you can see on the slide as well, thank you for sharing that. He was the first prophet. He is basically the father of all of us. Through us, we came down on earth. Now, there are sometimes, sure, go ahead. I don't know who is that, but you asked me, you can go ahead after that. Kash.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the Quran, Adam alayhi salam is both physical and spiritual ancestors of humankind.
Mhm. That's good. Yep.
Should I keep on going?
Yeah, go ahead.
Pride of Abyss. Abyss was created from fire.
Uh-huh.
Prophet Adam alayhi salam created from clay/dirt.
Mhm.
Iblis did not bow down.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for reading it. Now, you know, this question comes a lot, that why do we have to understand and read about Adam? So think about it. For instance, for a moment, think about it, that let's say if you forgot about yourself, you forgot about your identity. Your real identity comes back from your parents, your backgrounds, your family, what are your dislikes? They're all connected to your past. So your identity is really connected to our past. So that's why Allah talks about Adam in Quran, because he tells us that all those prophets, starting from Adam alayhi salam, those were all a one nation. And we are actually coming from, you know, they are from our father Adam alayhi salam. That's why we need to understand our history, that, you know, where are we really coming from? And this is the reason that we're trying to provide you knowledge. And it's kind of you know, basically a revision about Adam and Hawa, who were the first men and women who came down to earth. Now, it's important to refresh these stories, because what Allah has said, that the stories were deviated. They were brought in different forms in different books, like Bible would have a different version of Adam and Eve. So in Quran, Allah has brought and the real story, and he's telling us what happened. Now, the entire purpose of Allah the entire purpose of Allah giving us in life is that so we could be grateful. Now, if we look at the story of Adam alayhi salam, what happened really? The story was that Allah created Adam alayhi salam from dirt and clay. Now, before that, before Allah created Adam, Allah has created a lot of angels. Now, Iblis was one of the angels that actually went and superseded all the levels. He was created from fire, and he was ranked at the highest level of angels. So he thought about himself that, you know, that I am the greatest because I have all the powers, kind of, you know, above all the angels. So he had a lot of pride in himself, that I am the highest, you know, ranked in all the angels. So when Prophet Adam was created by Allah, Allah asked him to bow down, basically because Allah created, Allah had created and presented a creation which had more knowledge. And the purpose of creating Adam was because Allah said initially that I am going to send this creation down to earth, so that generations could be created, you know, one after the other. Generations of people would be created, and they would share this knowledge. Now, when Allah created Adam and he asked Iblis, which is also well known as Shaitan or Satan, he refused, that he would not bow down. Why? Because he thought himself as very high and ranked himself. Now, this gives us one lesson, that, you know, you should not be that proud that you are not listening to Allah's command as well. On the right-hand side, you can see some of the context from Quran, which explains about how Adam was created. In Surah Sad, you can see it says, indeed, I'm going to create a human being from clay. And then from on the right-hand side, you can see it says, and mention when we said to the angels, prostrate to Adam, and they prostrated, except Iblis, he refused. So Allah has given all these references in Quran explaining how the story progresses. So I'll move on to the next slide to continue the story. So Allah created Adam alayhi salam and Hawa, that was the first woman, and to basically check how they would obey Allah, Allah told them not to go near a forbidden tree and not eat any fruits from there. Iblis was already like kind of, angry, and that, why Adam was created and why Allah is sending him to earth. So he kind of, diverted Adam saying that, you won't be able to live in paradise and you would be sent down to earth. So if you really want to live in paradise, you would have to eat from that forbidden tree. He tried to divert Adam alayhi salam, by convincing him that, if you want to stay in paradise, eat from this tree. And Adam alayhi salam got in his words, and they both actually, went near that forbidden tree. And this is what Satan, Shaitan, also tries to do to us as well. He basically tries to, divert our minds from good things. And eventually what happened? Adam realized that, he made a mistake. So on the right-hand side, you can see this is the dua. That was the first dua that was made. And the purpose of this dua was to ask for forgiveness to Allah. So if you feel any time that you want to actually ask for forgiveness to Allah, you can always recite this dua, because this was the dua which was read by Adam alayhi salam in heaven and Hawa in paradise, so that they could be, forgiven. So Allah sent them to earth. It is a lot of times we hear that Allah sent as a punishment to them on earth. But if you really look beyond that, Allah had already decided that he's going to send Adam and Hawa to earth to increase our generations, to basically, have more generations created. But at the same time, when Adam and Hawa, they realized that it was their mistake, they actually asked for forgiveness, and Allah is merciful. He forgave them. He forgave both of them, because he knows that they did it because Shaitan actually convinced them to do. So if you ever feel that, you have done a mistake, just ask for repentance, ask for forgiveness, and Allah is very merciful. He would forgive you. You just have to be really, really truthful in doing that. And once you do it with wholeheartedly, Allah would definitely forgive you for that. Now, if you look at this story, I'll just open, I know we have few minutes left, but I'll just open the forum for people if they would like to share any of their thoughts, that what do they actually learn from this story. So anyone would like to share their comments? Go ahead if you want to talk. And it could be anything basic that you thought from this story. What did you really learn? That how can you apply it to your life? Anyone wants to say anything? Okay, so I'll move on. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
I learned to not let Shaitan trick me into doing bad things, because there's always going to be a bad outcome.
Absolutely. That's the biggest thing that we have learned, that Iblis, Shaitan, he tricked him into eating, from the forbidden tree. So when you're getting bad thoughts in your mind, just try to pause there, for a moment and think over it, because sometimes it's just the Shaitan is trying to divert you. So, and it can happen in your daily life as well. So basically, try to focus on something which is happening unusual, because sometimes it's Shaitan who's actually diverting you. So let's go over the lessons learned from Adam alayhi salam, Prophet Adam alayhi salam's story. So jealousy is the root cause of evil. Now, what does that really mean? What have we seen in the story? We have seen that Iblis got jealous. He got jealous, and what he was trying to do was, out of jealousy, he tried to basically divert Adam alayhi salam. And he was able to do it because he convinced Adam alayhi salam in eating it from that tree. So this is very important. Don't get jealous of people who are inferior. Like if they are inferior, because Adam alayhi salam was made up of clay, it's not about being inferior or, or superior about it, because if Iblis is made of fire, he cannot just consider himself being superior. So jealousy is highly condemned in Islam. You know, you should try to avoid those things where you feel that you're getting jealous out of it, because if you feel that you're becoming jealous of other people, that's basically you're not being happy with them. So try to stay away from things that could cause, you know, jealousy in your mind. Having faith in Allah always. You need to always trust in Allah, because Allah has better plans for you. Now, what happened with Iblis? He was devastated. He was not convinced with the fact that Allah, why did Allah created Adam out of clay? So you have to have faith in Allah. That's the cornerstone of a Muslim. And this belief helps in crossing any hurdle in life. So just stay positive always and have stronger bond with Allah and His creation. Unity is strength. What does this really mean? And this goes back to the fact that Allah actually sent out Adam to earth. Why has He sent him to earth? Because He has created human race into different diverse cultures, colors, creeds. So we are all from the same person. It's just we have created different divisions over here. So humans all over should look at the common grounds rather than disputing. Unity is great strength. Okay. Forgiveness, repentance is basically when you turn back to Allah and, you know, ask for forgiveness. So if you ever feel that, you know, you have done a sin or maybe you did something wrong, just seek for forgiveness immediately from Allah, and He would definitely, you know, He's merciful. He would consider for that. Beware of Satan's trap, and that's something absolutely don't get tricked by Satan. So he would try all means to make evil deeds. So in order to attract towards them. So we should always try to seek refuge in Allah from Satan's temptation and fall in his traps. So definitely stay aware of that. Focusing on our purpose in life is basically, you should really think about that, why Allah has created us. Allah has not created us to become jealous or, you know, to make someone inferior and, you know, basically degrade them. The purpose of our life is to, as a person, we have been sent down on earth. So take care of our earth and share the knowledge with others, and don't hurt other people. Just by living on the focus of life, you would actually stay away from a lot of troubles. So focus on your life, what you're here for, and that would actually keep away from a lot of bad stuff. So hope everyone enjoyed today's session. This was a small session just to basically revive our discussion about Ramadan, Islam, and Prophet Adam. What we've done is we have created a small quiz for you. You can do it at your own pace. It's just for kids. They can actually go in and they can do that quiz just to look upon some knowledge. So it's okay. Let me just send you that link over here in the chat. You can do that at your own pace. Try that, and that would help you in checking how much you have learned through this presentation. Jazakallah khair, everyone, for joining in. I'll try to invite if I have any more sessions, I'll definitely try to keep you guys posted as well. Any closing comments, anything that anyone would like to share?
Ramadan Kareem.
Ramadan Mubarak, thank you. The link is there in the chat, so definitely try that link at your convenience. Allah Hafiz and Ramadan Mubarak.
Jazakallah.
Allah Hafiz.